Oh, welcome back. Quite a bit of progress is being made here. There's tanks and steps and everything stripped off of both sides. Guess it's time to go over the interior, which is a complete mess right now. Stinks terribly in here. Terribly, and I don't know, mothballs, or I'm not sure how to describe the smell. It's interesting. It's like something that's been forgotten for a long time, that's for sure. Now, the reason this is so full of stuff right now is to keep it out of the rain. One thing that is interesting is this mile per gallon fuel tack. It says flow scan underneath there. I have never seen this before. And other than that, kind of your usual gauges. Actually, it's could actually use a couple more gauges down there. Like I have the 4 there. It might be nice to add a few to that. It doesn't have the 6 here. It just has the cross pattern. This one has a high beam bulb in, but I want to look and see how the wiring runs for this, because this is your factory high beam indicator. So this indicator's been pulled out of something. I've seen quite a few with this cross setup as well. So you get your 4, right, and 5, and then 6 would be the 2 here, like mine has. This is your standard 5 with the fuel mileage switch, and this is a Peterbilt factory style switch and nut, which and plate here. So that mile per gallon, or that fuel mileage system, is a factory deal, which is quite interesting. This is your typical cat Jake switch setup. A Cummins would typically have 2 switches, on, off, and high low separate. A factory ether aid right there, and then I'm not sure what these 2 do. Might be breather lights, although they're not actually on this truck. So wiper knob is mismatched. We can fix that. Wiper wash like normal, and then this is a 2-knob air system, which I believe is new enough to function as a modern 2-knob without needing the 3rd like mine, hopefully. So we'll have a look at that, but I'm guessing they're still pin. Yeah, they're pin knobs, not screw knobs. Still has a shelf in here. That's pretty cool. And look at that, the condition on that latch. It's basically brand new. Mine rattles like crazy, and that's completely tight. Has the CB hook up there. Factory again. These seem to be in good shape, except the chroming is going on them, which is fairly typical. And of course you can see the only real damage to the interior is the headliner, like you would expect. I might scoot a little bit so you can see. That's ugly. Now it's full of mice up there. So this is something we're going to have to either find matching velour and get it stitched, or someone with the patience that it takes. Square speaker covers this time. Kind of cool. And one thing that you don't see on the older ones, of course this is an 87, is this rubber bumper around the sleeper boot. And it's made to keep your seat from rubbing on the upholstery. So it's just kind of a safety there, which is pretty neat. One thing you can't see with all this stuff here is how good the door panels are. Often you will get scuffing in a circle pattern around the crank. This does not have an air window on that side, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you can reach it pretty good in these old trucks. The main event here is, of course, the stand-up sleeper. This would be very similar to a early 90s, late 80s 379. The cubby here, this cubby is the same as a early 379. these wooden things here on the 379s, they tend to be a gray steel, not a wood grain like this. You know, throw back to the 80s. Of course, the 379 would not be the copper, brushed copper looking lights. The bunk heater controls, which is Peterbilt, judging by the switches and the nut cover styles, or the nut styles on the switches. I'm assuming that's a volume knob. Lights there and there. I wish my 389 had the switch on the post. I hate having to reach over here. There's very, very little damage on the plastics in here. That one's cracked. And it's cracked more here. Screw missing. The headliner actually is sagged a wee bit. The main difference between this and a early 379 bunk, of course, would be your upholstery, number one, and that door. That flash is just showing how dusty it is in here. This thing's got to get cleaned so badly. The vents for the AC there. And the tray. A lot of stuff in here to clean up. Carpet, in order to save that. Feels weird being in here with my boots on, but that's going to be a lot of work to bring that carpet back to life. Can be done. It can be done. There's not much you can't do if you don't put your mind to it. I don't know if this thing works. Oh boy. It'll be a long time since you'd have seen one of these in the truck stop. Anyway, it's good to document how things were before you got into them. Mine was in really good shape except for the mouse damage behind the upholstery. I didn't have water damage in my cab. That was the main thing. Whereas this one had significant water damage in the seats in kind of poor condition here. Again, that rubber bumper runs from, I don't know if it broke off. No, it wouldn't, because that's too consistent from side to side. But just a rubber bumper around. It still has the original hard rubber Pete sleeper boot, which I don't see any cracks in, but that's got to go. I just put in a 379 style with the like 3 pleats in it, nice floppy one. Keep the rain out better, because these will crack. No curtains on these like a 379 would have. I should have a better flashlight in here to show you this, but this is going to clean up really good though. The condition of the interior in the bunk is fantastic. The door panels are fantastic. Carpet's going to take a lot of work, but I think with some time and effort you could match it if you had to. It's not going to get a wood floor, and don't get excited. This thing's going back to factory. I like to clean it up and restore, which is it's a personal preference, right? Some guys want to redo, and I'm okay with that. Me personally, I can't do that. It just rubs me the wrong way. So that's going to be a labor of love, not getting thrown in the trash can. Unless we absolutely for sure cannot help it, but that would be sad. Stay tuned. I'll make more videos on this project. I'm appreciating the attention it's getting, and thank you for watching.